Howdy, and welcome back to AskAPop. Today I'd like you to meet Eyed Willie. By the time of this pic, his second eye had already started opening up. But when he found our family, we had figured he had been discarded by his colony because of his bad eye, and he ended up in our garage. One day I was pulling out my saw, and I saw him. See what I did there? And I wasn't sure what to do, so I just kind of left the garage door open and was hoping he'd go home, and realized after a day or so that he already had found his home. So we started feeding him and working with him until he trusted us enough to where we were able to handle him and eventually get him to the vet. Where the vet then told us that it wasn't really going to work out because we had some kittens around the same age he was with their mama still living with us, as well as a tomcat that was a couple years older than he was. And, they just said this wasn't going to work. But you know what? Izzy, that's our other tomcat, and Willie are now best buds. And the kittens and Willie are inseparable. And we can't imagine life without Willie in it because we were lucky enough to see what could be and not just what was there. And I'm so glad that you were able to stick with me through this long story so I could get to my point. And the point is that God is really, really good at seeing past what's there to see what can be. And there's a lot of really, really great examples of that in the Bible. Today's Bible reading is about two of those, two of the stories with Elizabeth and Jeremiah. And they're two of my favorites. And it always reminds me to stop when the word no is about to come out of my mouth or negative thoughts start heading into my head. What I'll do is I'll stop and I'll give a prayer and I'll ask God for a nudge in the right direction. And, he'll usually give it to me. Just ask Willie. Oh, and if you're wondering why we call him One-Eyed Willie, Tony, that's my wife. One of her favorite movies is The Goonies. And if you know, you know. The Bible verses today are Jeremiah 1, 4 through 10, and Luke 1, 5 through 20. And the questions today, it's just one question, but it can go off in a lot of directions. Have you ever heard that still soft voice or a nudge from God? And if so, how did it feel? Or was it a big yell, or was it just a nudge, or because they come in all different forms. I'll share one real quick example with you all. We were working on some electronics, and 3 weeks in a row, I couldn't get them right at the church. And I'd done everything I knew how to do except ask God for help. And because I only had 10 minutes every week while the sermon was going to get this, it was a hearing assisted hearing device working, because the only time that I could really tune it in was when the pastor was speaking. And I'd done everything but pray. So I stopped, and I was like, I've done everything else. And I said, Christ, can you please help me with this? And I literally touched the screwdriver to the assisted listening device, and it started working. And afterwards, I was sharing this with Pastor Jeff, our preacher. And he laughed, and I was like, okay, so they work. Let's order 4 more. So we ordered some more of them. And, the running joke was, I'm not even going to mess around with my ideas. I'm just going to ask Christ. We were able to get every other one that we ordered set up in the next 10-minute sermon. So that was one of my stories that I'd like to share. And that's what I'd like to end with. Thank you so much for your time today. And I'll see you in the next one. God bless you and have a great day. Thanks for listening in to AskAPop today. Be sure to like and subscribe if you found this useful and helpful. If you have any feedback, please feel free to give it. You can reach us at AskAPop.com, or feel free to leave something in the comments. God bless you.